What's up, y'all? This is Casey. I hope you have gotten off to a very profitable start to the week. I want to take a look at GBP JPY this morning. I cleared out my chart, but the last two videos I think I did on it, we saw price do exactly what it was supposed to do. I unfortunately missed out on the big 250 pip drop last week, which is all right because the market does the same thing over and over and over again. So today, I'm going to start off from the beginning for those who are new so they can understand my approach to the market and what I do. I am using the Smart Trader platform. I love it because it gives me just a little bit more edge in the market with the smart tools that it offers. And I'll show you how some of those work throughout this analysis. Okay. And so what I'm doing right now is I complete a multi-time frame analysis, again, for those who are new. And I think anybody should be doing this, whether you're a scalper, intraday trader, whatever, right? You should be doing this because it gives you an overall like bird's eye view of what's happening in the market. And no matter what kind of trader you are, you know, you'll be able to formulate a directional bias on what you should be doing. Okay. So technically, this is a swing high. It's a 5 candle formation. I got a high center candle, 2 candles to the left that are lower, 2 candles to the right that are lower. Now, if we look on this chart, you can see swing highs everywhere. I got one here. It looks like I got one here. Let's see. I got one here. And those are the most recent. Now, we don't have a swing high where price currently is. Do you know why? I'll wait and let you tell me. Type it in the comments below. Cool. So, no high here because you got a high center candle, 2 candles to the left that are lower, but you only got 1 candle and it's still forming on the right. You will have to wait. What is this? Almost 2 months to get the rest of the information to see if there's going to be a swing high. So we don't want to wait that long. As I start marking this up, we'll go through and talk about it. So, a low is just the inverse. So you got a low center candle. You got 2 candles to the left that are higher and 2 candles to the right that are higher. Same thing as a high. Now, you're probably like, why are we looking for this? What does this matter? Well, the swing highs and swing lows give you indication of where price has the potential to reverse. Okay. So you want to pay attention to that. Now, what I do, and again, the reason that I like Smart Trader, because me and my group, we go through, we mark up 28 pairs on Saturdays, and Smart Trader kind of lets you breeze through that. For the purpose of this tutorial, I will show you, and it will be a little bit longer because I'm going to explain everything. But the smart tools are really, really, really a godsend. Okay. So now the way you do this manually, you should know how to do it manually. I wouldn't depend just solely on Smart Trader. It's good to know how to do it yourself. Once you got it down, then you can go ahead and use the tools with Smart Trader. But what we're about to do is identify those swing lows and swing highs. Now the software will do it for you, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to eyeball it. And so we already said this is not a high. I can't choose this as a high. So I got to find my last high. And by definition, let me get my mouse. By definition, I got a high right here. I got a high center candle. I got 2 candles to the left that are lower and 2 candles to the right that are lower. See that? So this would be an area that I'm interested in. And let's stretch this up. Make that go. Stretch it across. All right, cool. All right. So I like that. Then I want to find my most recent significant low. Most recent significant low. And what I'm doing, I measure it from the bottom of the wick of that candle to the bottom of the wick of the next candle to give me my zone. And then I'm just going to move it over. Is the weather messing with anybody else? I feel like I'm always sniffling on here. I apologize. It's just the change in weather that is messing with me right now. I also want to identify another area that I see as a low right here. Let's stretch this across too. Cool beans. All right, so I think I'm good on the monthly. Now to go back and double check this, I would go to my smart toolbox, drop my smart support. Ew, right there. Okay. But I only want the most significant level. So I'm looking at support 1. I'm not going to choose this right now. But I have this area marked down. So we're good on the support. I want the most relevant, the most like, cause it's going to give you resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. And then you see right here, it gave us resistance 1. It gave us resistance 1. But there is possibility. I'm going to drop a line because I want to pay attention to this. And even though I don't technically have a high, I want to be aware of this high. I want to know where that is. Okay. We good. All right. So I'm going to take off the smart resistance and then I'm going to drop down to the lower time frame. I was on the monthly. I'm going to go down to the weekly and I want to see what's happening. Right. So I got my low here. I got my next high. Technically, I got a low here, but the one that I'm probably going to be most interested in is right here. So I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to go from the bottom of the wick of the candle to the bottom of the body and then stretch it across. This is the zone that I want to pay attention to. Now, I'll color code my charts because I am on the weekly. I'm going to make that blue. That's what I want to look at. Let me stretch this across. Cool. And then I'm looking and I got to find my next potential level of support. Now looking at this structurally, like we've already identified this area, which matches up with here. The next area would be here. But I think I want to go ahead and I want to change this over to daily because this is extra clear on this level. And then I'm going to drop down to, weekly. I'm going to drop down to the daily. And we've already identified the zone. My next zone in here is right here. So this is potential future support on the daily, which I'm going to make this red because that's my daily color, right? Let me stretch this across. The only thing, I wish I had the ability to have coordinates or I just type in the coordinate and it extends that. Okay. Cool. And then I'll drop down to the 4 hour and see what levels I got in between there. Now look at this. This became so clear. So this is potential future support. This is probably a 61.8 level. We'll see when we get into the the chart. And I'll probably, let's see. This is a level here. I'm just looking at where we are. What I probably should have did, but this is so short though. I'm looking at big picture, long time frame stuff. I'm gonna drill in right here just to see. This looks like it's at a 50% fib level and it's at a significant area. It might be a little more than 50. This might be the 61.8 for this move here. Let me make this gray. Look. So we had A, B, C, prices D here. Then it started a new fib here. And then you see this was past resistance. That's looking like potential future support. And actually we had a high before that, which is here. That's why you see in price stutter step. Let me turn this gray. Because this is 4 hour. 4 hour information. Let me stretch this down. And let me push this across. Yeah, Okay. This looks like a fib sequence right here on a larger time frame. Okay. So I'm not going below the 4 hour. Now that I've done like my zones, I want to, excuse me. And the reason I'm not going below the 4 hour is because I'm a swing trader. And I might find my entries on the 15-minute and 1 hour, but as far as my zones, like I want the higher time frame zones. So you can go lower if you're an intraday trader or a scalper. Just do the same thing that we just did and mark out a level for each time frame. So instead of like mine are the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour, yours might be the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and then use your 15 for your entry, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'm gonna go back on a higher time frame. And as I mentioned, we are heavily based Fibonacci traders. And so we use the Fib religiously. And so I want to go in and just see what's happening on the higher time frame. I'm going over here to my smart toolbox and I am going to put my Fib on it to see where we are. So this is the current Fib sequence. We get a B boundary. So let me back up because I skipped. Okay. We got a B boundary. We had a C pullback to the 50% Fib level. Can y'all see it? Let me see if I can zoom in. Why isn't it giving it to me? Because this is not the current Fib. But we had a 50% pullback. And so we would have known, okay, we're on buys for the next, once you got that confirmation, 2,000 pips, right? We're on buys, buy setups only. I'm not taking sales when the market is clearly giving me confirmation that it's moving up. And so this low, once we got this high to form, which is right here, this low became my new A. This became my new B. We got less than a 38.2 pullback. And so typically what we see is that price will stall out at the 118 or the 127. We have not reached that yet. Price could make its way up there, but I got to finish my analysis to see what's going on right now. Right now, it looks like we got a lot of resistance back in, what was this, October? From this high of 158.311, I believe is where it's at. So we got this shallow retracement. We could see price push up and touch this 160, or we could start to see price make a deeper retracement. Now, remember, I said this is probably the 61.8 of the bigger move, this red zone, and it is the 61.8. So I would love to see price come at least to the 38.2, which is 147.277 or 141.848. Okay. So let's just drill down just a little bit to see on the lower time frames where we are and what's happening. So I'm gonna go down to just the weekly. So on the weekly, we've hit a D extension. You see that? So on the monthly, we haven't hit it, but on the weekly, we hit it. So we have a B boundary. We had a less than 23.6 pullback. So price stalled out at the 127, 118 area. And so when we see that happen, more often than not, we see price make its way back to at least the 38.2, which is here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move this to the 38.2. And then I'm going to make me another one to do the 61.8. Now it could come back to the 38.2. It can come back to the 50%. It can come back to the 61.8. I mean, it can make it all the way down to 786 or 86, or even the full move back down to the beginning. But most often what we see are these sweet spots right here, 38.2, 50 or 61.8. So I'm anticipating that we're probably going to see price. I would trade safely down to the daily 38.2 or weekly, 38.2, and then manage my trade from there. I would love for price to come back to the 61.8. Let me see. Let me go down to the daily and see where we are. Let me put my Fib on this, my smart Fib. Uh-oh. That's not what I want. I'm going to put it on the current sequence that we're on. There we go. So we are at the 61.8 of this smaller move. And let me go back to the monthly and mark out that other level. So now I'm gonna move this because this zone is a matching extension between 160 and 162. So let me see what that looks like on the lower time frame daily. So we in this 61.8 zone. 164. No. All right, let me get rid of this. Because we've been on a down move for a minute. And overall, big picture, I honestly believe we about to see price continue to dip. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my smart trend line. And I'm going to draw. We're going to stretch this out, extend. So I'm going to draw this out because on the lower time frames, this smart trend line does not transfer through and it's not clear. When it doesn't. If it does, it'll be a little skewed. So it's best practice if you go in there and you draw your own. So I'm going to go from swing low to swing low, which is right here. Cool. And then if I drop down to the daily, so this is my higher time frame trend line. Let me drop down to, I'm actually on the daily. All right. So my next one will be from this last touch to the next touch. And actually, we got that move already, that drop. Oh, that was pretty. Actually, hold on. Let me see. That really was here. And this is what I had drawn out. That really was here. You see that? So I went from swing low to swing low. And I didn't cut through candles. I went through the highest point. And this could be traced like all the way back. So price started making its way down. The most recent was this move here. So now that this has happened, I'm going to move my trend line out. So let me get this. So it looks like price might be rejecting off this trend line, but let's see. I want to see the fibs to the downside. So I'm going to get my smart fib tool and drop it. So this is the current fib sequence. We have an A high, a B low, and it looks like price might be trying to make its way back up, or this may be a shallow pullback, which might extend out down here. But what I'm thinking I would want to see is a little pullback here. Let me make this green. And then if you look at structure, so let me extend this out. If you look at structure, we broke through this green level, and this is support. And we know that when price breaks through a level, more often than not, it comes back to retest that level before making a continuation. So what I would like to see, and just looking at structure, I would love to see something like this. And let me make this so y'all can see. We'll make that 4, and then I'll make it gold. I would love to see a move like this as the next move. How many pips is this? 403. That's what I would love to see. Oh, y'all, I can't draw today. I'm trying to highlight this area because this is what I would like to see. And if I look at this trend line, if I go, hold on, because I should have brought it in a little tighter. Bear with me, y'all. I'm getting to a point. Just work with me. Just work with me. that would actually be the next trend line. If I'm going, oh, no, I don't have this on straight. There we go. That's what I'm thinking. So we may even get the pullback all the way to the 618 looking at this now, so price breaks through, come back, retest the backside of the trend line. That's a possibility. But looking at structure, this is the past level. This is the level we broke through. And so price may just come back to retest this 38.2 and then make its move down to the downside. But either way, I'm bearish right now on GBP JPY. And I am waiting for price to retrace. So I want a higher price before I enter for the sale. But I'm definitely bearish right now. And I believe I'm going to be bearish for a little while on this pair. But this is what I'm looking for. This is the setup I would like to see. We'll see how it plays out. Unfortunately, I don't predict the market. I can only use my technicals tools to give me insight on what may happen. But it will be interesting to see where we end up on this. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Did you catch this big move? I missed this. We marked up, I believe it was this one and this one, but I missed this 6 hour drop here. So leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you're playing this. If this video was helpful to you, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you are looking for a group of like-minded individuals, make sure that you click the link below this video to join our no-cost Forex Facebook mastermind group, where we do periodic trainings. And and then if you're looking for something that's a little more structured, you want to check out the mentorship opportunity. And before you guys email me, please check your spam filters and your promotions tab if you have Gmail, if you sign up and you don't see anything. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I will see you on the charts next time. Bye.